Lloyd Shaw here again from VibraTrain, about to show you the fifth pose in the VibraTrain Safety Program, the plank. I'll be showing you the mini plank and the full plank. Now the tools I'm going to use to help me in this are the VibraTrain safety mats. For this position they are very, very important to have. These mats are glued together, large mat on the bottom, small mat on the top with a small ridge here. This small mat is for the person's knees or feet so they don't slide. These things will help the person stay in the position. If you don't have these mats, you're going to make your life a lot harder for yourself. Now, unlike the push-up where I told you to put the mat quite close to the machine, the plank is always a lot further away than you would think. I'm going to ask my client to kneel on the mat right here. Then ask them to stretch out and put one hand there and one hand there. Then tell them to put one elbow there and one elbow there. So they're resting up against that little L-shaped bit in the pad there. Hands go together nice and tight. Do not let the person's hands be all relaxed and loose and around the place. Interlace the fingers, hands stay nice and tight. Head goes down and it stays down. So what we're looking for here is hands nice and tight, head down and a slope on here. Never ever let the person be straight up and down on the shoulders. This is trying to create a hydraulic action on the muscles, so we're trying to get that action here. We're not trying to jar the shoulders into the joints. Person's kneeling on the mat, and I push the machine, starts up in 8 seconds. Drop the pelvis towards the ground a couple of inches so it's a straight line between there and there. You do not want any bend in the middle. Now, during the position, make sure the person's hands stay nice and tight, the head stays down, and this stays flat. This is called a mini plank. It's a very good position for learners or people with back issues. You don't want to push. Because remember, doing ab work burns no fat. So you don't want someone to try and snap themselves in half. It's not like the other positions where you can go to complete fatigue and be safe. You always want to play it safe with someone's back. Now again, on this position the person cannot see the timer. So it's important as a trainer for you to tell the person how much time they have left so they don't start to stress. Got 18 seconds to go. Now with the safety mat system, as you can see, the person almost has no chance of getting out of position. Without that mat though, you may be correcting a little bit more often than I have to. Got 3 seconds to go. 2, 1. The last pose I showed you was the mini plank. I told you that the person's arm must be on a slope. I'm going to explain this to you now. Grab your hands nice and tight. Quite often you'll see in vibration training people having a square angle here on the machine. Basically what's happening is the person is being whacked that way. This is not what you're trying to get in vibration training. Vibration training is trying to destabilize and create a hydraulic action on the abdominal region. So, by creating an angle here, the machine coming up underneath the elbows, you are creating that nice hydraulic action. And you can see hardly any movement's been done in the head, as opposed to that, which you do not want. One of the biggest mistakes I see in vibration training, because it's done in the gymnasium. So people think you take a pose from the gymnasium and you automatically put it in vibration training platforms. That is not correct.